Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Back to using those 12 by 12s. Whittling down still on that initial pack that I've coffee stained. I'm going to have to pull out the ones off my shelf over there and get the backs coffee stained so that I have more to go because I'm only like halfway through the series. So, all right, so here is what we are making today. It is a simple little folio. Opens up. You've got two pockets, one here and one here. These are extra cutoffs. So tear them in half. You can use them as tags, journaling cards. You can use them for decoration, however you want, but they will be included with each folio. All right. So let's get started. This is by Lene Creations, and as always, I will have her video linked at the end of this one. So for this, I have several papers, and I have a little note on here that says it's good for pages with decorations in opposing corners. So I do have a couple that are just a little different. I think I'm going to switch this one out because I was thinking something different with that. So I was thinking I would get a different one, but I think I'm just going to leave that out. So opposing corners, I do have this one. It doesn't have opposing, but I think I'm going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. You know what? Might have to think this one different. I do it this way. Nope. No matter how I do it, it's upside down. Okay. I'm going to pull my pads back in because neither of those are going to work for what it. Let's do this one. This will be fun. Okay. So while it does say on there, I did put on there that it's good for things with opposing corners. It's really not, because I think I'm just gonna take that little note off of there because maybe I'll go back and look and see how she does it. But let's see. Do I have anything else in this paper pack? Now, it does not work real well with directional paper, but as you can see here, I added these on because otherwise these first top pockets, your image is upside down if it's directional.
Unlike traditional grocery stores, we can buy up high-quality products that have minor production mishaps at a discounted price and passive savings.
Sorry, I've got something I'm watching. Just cover this with another kind of decorative paper, and then that's an easy fix if you only have directional paper. So, I think on this one, all I have left is directional paper. Let's see if I did this. So there's no way for me to really center that without cutting. And then you'd have super skinny tags. Because you cut 3 inches off the side, which is what makes those these pieces. But in order for me to do that with this, I would have to center it. So take 1.5 inches, and you'd have some skinny tags. I mean, I suppose that wouldn't be too terribly bad. And then 2 inches off the bottom. Yeah, why not? Exchange that one out. Just so I don't forget what I just said I was going to do. I'm going to work on that one. Okay, so I'm going to take 1.5 inches. So this is, you're cutting this down to be 9 by 10. So 3 inches off one side, 2 off the bottom. But in this case, like I said, because I want to center this white circle, I'm going to do 1.5 inches. So you'll have belly bands or 4 skinny tags in this particular one, rather than 2 tall tags or 2 thick tags. 1.5. Okay. And then 2 inches off the bottom. Thinking maybe go a little bit more. No. Inches off the bottom, and then you're going to cut this in half, 4.5. You guys with me so far? Although I just peeked up and realized that I was not on screen. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to take your scoreboard out. Long ways. You're going to score this in half, and I'm a little off. This must have been one of those ones that was not an even 12. So I'm just scooting it over just a little bit, still going down at 4.5. Now, if you have an actual 9-inch, you're going to score it at 4.5. Spin it 90 degrees, and on the bottom, you're going to score at 3 inches. Okay. Set your scoreboard aside. Got all these, the little glue pieces from it being attached. Now, because my stuff was not even to begin with, I am going to score this up. See, and then I've got overhang here. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and pull my paper trimmer back out, and I'm going to trim that up. While I've got it here, you're going to be folding these pockets, so you just want to trim just ever so slightly. I don't usually do this with my paper trimmer, but I figured since it's already out, I'd go ahead and give it a shot. See, I'd be better off with my scissors. So what I'm doing here is cutting, this is your 3-inch scored piece. And you're going to cut from the bottom edge just to that horizontal score line. And that's separating out your 2 pockets. You want to do this because it reduces bulk, so that when these are folded up, like so, you have room here to close your pockets. Okay. Now this is one of the first things that I do is I'm going to trim out, not trim out, I'm going to measure out two and a quarter, 2 3/16 ish. This is just marking the center ish. I'm going to put all of these together. And I'm going to use that hash mark right there as my guide point. Let me put these, put them in the center. I might be able to control them a little better. The 2 loose ones, you know. Now, if you don't mind that your 2 pockets have different locations for your thumb notch, you don't have to line them up like that. That was a little tough. I probably won't do that in the future as a 4-point. I'll probably do them separate. But so these pockets go here. So you have to decide if you're going to cover up, you're going to cover, you know, this side it would definitely cover because that piece of cake is upside down. And like, do we want to worry about that side? Yeah, let's go ahead and cover both of those. Now, if you have paper packs that have these, you can use something like this. You just got to keep in mind this is thick as well as this. So if you have a copy paper weight paper that you like to cover this with, you can do that. But what you're going to do is make sure that when you put your bottom pocket, you get the coverage that you're looking for. I don't like that either. That would just barely. And the divot there would be white. So this one. No. So ruling that out. Bring in my scrap pile of cutouts. Whew, you're about to fall out of my lap. I don't think any of the actual Valentine's ones that I have in here would be sufficient. Okay. So what I'm going to do shade of pink. Get some of my pink paper dyed. Avocado. I mean, all kinds of different. I don't like any of these shades. I do like that with the the polka dotties. So it kind of mimics that. But do I like the color? I don't really think I like the color. Grab a stack. That one's a little better. Love the grunge of that one. Yeah, not blue. Is there any in here that have that actual polka dotty? Nope. Oh, I'm just going to go with this one. Avalanche. Craft-a-lanche. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. You don't have to cover this whole thing. Because remember, we're putting a pocket over the top of it. And because I'm doing both pockets, I'm just going to glue it like this, and then I'll cut them both out together. Whoop. bit better. I'm going to trim these down. Okay. Punch these little holes back out. I'm also going to take this time to round this corner. You can decide at this point if you want to round the corners of your pockets or leave them straight. I'm leaving mine straight. Make sure I can get to my 2 pockets here. Okay, and then here's, it's simple as this. You're going to glue one side. Give me a second. I'll look up, make sure I'm on screen. Yep. One side here. Make that pocket. Come over here, same one. And I realize it is lifting right now. I will push it down again in a sec. Edge. And edge. Okay. Give that a good smush. Oh my gosh, look what I'm watching. There. Oh, commercial. Anyway, there we go. Steinmetz Family Farm. We had babies born this morning. That's Dusty. She had little triplet babies. Oh, I turned my... And then your little pockets here. These do have some hangover. So figure out which side you're not gluing completely on the edge. Now come in just a smidge here on this side. Come on, glue. Across the bottom. On the other edge. Oh my gosh, the little tail wags. I miss having baby goats. Okay, and then this one. Same thing. This edge over here is the one we're not going all the way to the edge on. They have like 8 does due. It's up all night on Angel Watch. That's what they call their live streams when we're waiting for babies. Okay, I'm going to trim this edge here. Yeah, these guys were born at 7:30 this morning, my time. And this is Saturday, the 3rd. You'll be seeing this on Sunday, the 4th. So yeah, they were born on Saturday. And I will link their channel in the description box too. Anybody that likes to watch farm channels can check them out. Okay, so then this is the front and the back of your folio, and you can decide how to decorate the front. I think for me in this case, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one undecorated. And I'm just folding these in half. Need a sneeze. Sorry, I just sneezed a few times apparently. So you'll have some tall skinny tags, or you can use them to create belly bands on journaling cards that you put in here. However you want to use these, or don't use them at all. That's your choice too. But they will be included in this little folio. "27 minutes. I have time for one more? I think we have time for one more. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. Okay, so we're going to pull this up. Again, so this is the actual way. You're going to take 3 inches off the side. Okay, 3 inches off the side. And this gets cut in half, so let's just do that now. So you got 2 neat little tags. And then you're going to cut 2 inches off. Trying to decide which, do I want this to be the folio or this to be the folio? Let's do this way. Start with this. We're going to take 2 inches off one of the ends. And again, we're going to cut this in half. This is 9 though, remember, so we're doing 4.5. There's your two pockets. If you are so inclined, you can mark your center like this as you're cutting it out. So we're at 4.5, so 2 1/4 is your center line right there. So you know you could do it that way for knowing where your hole punches are. Let's see, which is 3 inches would be white. Yeah. Cutting or scoring. Switched out. Cutting for the scoring. And again, this one is a little short of 9. Just a hair. I'm going to turn. Once you determine which is going to be your bottom, I'm going to score 3 inches on the bottom. Oh my gosh, look at this baby. Isn't he cute? We don't know sexes yet. He's so cute. Their owners are, they have two different events going on right now. So Lauren is at one event and Jay is at another. And Dusty literally went into labor within minutes of them leaving home for their events. Like, of course that would work that way, right? So again, I'm just going to cut that little sliver out here. Oops. That little sliver. Making that space there for the pockets. And then, also, while I've got it folded, two and a quarter, right there's the center. And okay. And this fold up, this fold up, score that down. And again, you're going to glue up one edge, up this edge. And because I don't mind, you know, these look like waves, you can't tell that they're, at least I don't think you can tell that they're upside down. I don't worry about covering that. But you could, if you wanted to. Getting that glue down the center. And this is why I was trying to decide which one I wanted the top and the bottom to be, because these pockets are just plain white. So if I did this as my bottom, I would be like white on white. So that's why I chose for this to remain as the bottom. And these are coffee dyed on the back, so I could choose to do them like this if I wanted to even. Or stark white. Ooh, I actually kind of like it on the coffee side. I think it matches a little better. Line that up on the bottom. Burnish the edges. Grab the other one. My nose is driving me crazy all of a sudden. Oh, I think my allergy pill's kicking in. I took my morning meds right before I started recording. And that does include my daily allergy medication. So again, I'm trimming off the excess. Fold that up around that corner. Okay. And I suppose you could always fold this way. if you wanted this on the inside, and then you'd have, you know, these pockets obviously would be on the inside, and then you'd have the coffee dyed side to decorate. So we have these two, and this is what I was saying earlier, that you could use one of these as part of your focal point. Like if this was contrasting enough for you, you could glue this in the center and then put something else on top of it, kind of like I did here. Although this is using a solid cardstock in the back. Same with here, unless that's too blendy. Put something different on there and use these as tags on the inside. So there's that. So simple little folios. Again, I saw this on Lene Crafts. Her video will be linked at the end of this one. But until next time, thanks for watching, and we will talk to you in the next video. Sorry, yawn. Bye.